Emily and Ryan, what are you guys doing on Sunday?
What's that, July 4th?
No.
Nope, that's July 2nd.
July 2nd.
I work this whole weekend, actually. I close
Wow.
on Saturday, and Sunday we're open 11 to 6, and I do the whole day.
Yeah, fair enough. We were thinking of going to the Six Flags.
Oh, yeah. I would like to go.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello there.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Ride some roller coasters.
I'm pretty excited. I really make my own schedule. So.
What you talking about?
This weekend.
Ah, okay.
What time's your flight?
What?
What time's your flight, Heather?
What time is my flight?
Yeah.
9:30 in the evening.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Flying at a JFK or?
Yeah, JFK. Figured that was easier.
Nice.
So, yay. Get to go into New York on a Friday.
That's fine.
I'm taking a shuttle, so hopefully I can avoid that.
From New Haven or?
North Haven, actually. I get picked up at one of the hotels near Starbucks. I forget which one it is. It used to be a Holiday Inn, but it's not anymore.
No, it's just a Motel 6.
Best Western, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's definitely a bit too big to be a Motel 6.
Can-
It's not
can-
shitty enough to be
Can
a
I
Motel 6.
have one of those things now? Because
You
I
have to
wasn't
set it
able
up
to
on-
last time. How do I do that?
Is my proper borrowed rap alias showing up?
The
Yes, it is.
Galactus of the game?
Good. Yeah, go to the
Um,
Hangout toolbox on the left, and one of the things is a lower third.
Okay,
That's so cool.
So do we put character name or personal name?
At this point,
Both.
Both.
Oh, you guys put your real names?
Gary.
I mean, I have to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's the dungeon master.
We could change ours, I guess.
No. Keep your character name. Character name is way easier for me.
I need a tagline. Okay.
I don't think. I think if you just turn it on, it'll just put whatever's there.
This is. You can change the sound.
Yeah.
Stabby trees.
And I choose a color. Blue, red, green. Oh, I only get 4 choices?
yeah, well,
Should we get the real dice?
Well.
Do I have the app on my phone? No, I don't. No.
Did it work? Yay!
oh, that's funny for reasons that I don't think you're aware of.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
And it great balls of fire.
And great balls of fire.
Are you ready for me at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view event?
I'm confused.
The upcoming wrestling pay-per-view show that is the last day of Kineticon is called WWE Great Balls of Fire, which is fucking dumb as shit.
Oh.
But it's led to a lot of people very seriously saying that out loud.
Oh.
Goodness gracious.
Should I change it?
Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view event.
Should I change it then?
No, you're good.
Whatever you want.
Hey,
You can call yourself you can give yourself as many aliases as you want.
Okay. Oh. Emily,
Yes.
there's a new anime out that you should watch because it's funny and it reminds me of Ouran High School Host Club.
Nice.
It's called The Royal Tutor, and I was nervous because I thought it was going to be a shitty boys' love show, but it's not, thankfully.
Instead, it's a good boys' love show.
No, it's not. It isn't even that. It's a weird, random European country of some kind that has like kind of German-ish looking names. and they have a commoner who is now the royal tutor for these 4 spoiled princes. And it's a lot like Oron, but without any romantic subtext.
Just go ahead now.
So it's very silly, and I enjoyed it quite a bit so far. And the dub is really good for it.
YouTube or?
It was on. It's on both Funimation and Crunchyroll, but Funimation has the dub, Crunchyroll has the sub.
Okay.
You're on both.
Thank you. But yeah, so. God damn it.
Craig, your name just keeps getting longer.
I don't think there's any more space for it to get any longer.
But yeah, like it has a lot of humor because the tutor is an adult, but he's very short, and so people are constantly making fun of his height, and so they constantly make him a chibi, and the characters will just pick him up and carry him like he's a doll. He just and he's not like he's got a deep voice to prove that he's not a child. And
Prove he's a man.
Prove he is an adult. And also because he doesn't really get emotional at all.
Oh my God.
He just has a very straight man sort of very dry wit. And it works because then you have these 4 idiot princes who are basically like reincarnations of the various Oron high school boys.
Yeah, that's great, Heather. God damn it, Craig.
Craig's names don't even fit anymore.
Yeah.
I would suggest shortening it.
1, 2, 3.
I can't see 1, 2, 3, 4 Princess Number 5. Cute. Very cute.
I love that I can do this now. I can just do this during our whole thing.
An Irish buddy of mine is at Wembley watching Adele.
What the fuck is that?
Adele is a music artist. She's famous for
No, not you. The noise.
Snapchat?
Might have been my spinner.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, I was watching a video of him at Wembley watching Adele.
I'm not talking to you, Gary.
I crashed my browser.
Why is there a Pikachu?
I'll get rid of this.
Why?
I just had to touch the laptop screen like it was a touch screen. I'm officially my mom.
Gary, why? Why are you doing this to me?
You're welcome, Gary.
Thanks, Em. I really appreciate it.
Is it what is it? I can't tell.
I don't know what it means, but it's called like a Kukutari or something in Japanese, and my store got like 100 of them.
I can't tell when Gary puts it that fucking close to the screen.
Look into my eyes. Look into my eye.
Pikachu themed nightmares tonight. Thank you very much.
Anyway.
Yeah, see, it's just Pikachu.
Oh, okay. So it's just the sleeping ones.
Yeah.
No, it's just like flat. Yeah.
It's just kind of like this.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I have one of those, but he's got the little closed eyes.
Yeah.
So he sleeps on top of my part of my monitor at work. He just kind of he's just over the top of it, just kind of.
He just sort of like becomes a Pikachu ball and then like pops.
Great Pikachu. What?
And a great Pikachu balls.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
Hey.
How's it going, everyone?
Good.
I'm trying to set up my lower third.
I just did mine.
While you do that, we had a request before we get started tonight. I would like all of you to go through and describe in a perfect detail what your character looks like.
Oh no.
Perfect.
It's already written down in a perfect detail.
No, yeah, Frank's is already perfect. So
That's true.
So check.
Well, Jason doesn't have access to your guys' documents, so just give us like a quick
Run there.
10-second rundown, and then we'll move on.
Are we
Blam.
writing? Are we writing this in the chat, or are we saying
No,
it out
just
loud?
say it. Just say the words.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted looking for a physical description so you could take notes for later. I'm sorry.
Nope, not for me. It's for
you
Dave.
didn't need notes.
Okay. Hold on. I have a visual aid.
Is my fan coming on the mic?
No.
I hear.
I
hear
drew me. Can I show that?
Sure.
Absolutely.
I can't draw very well, but I tried.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't the cover of your spell book also a decent representation?
It doesn't have the right horns, though.
Fair enough.
But, like, it kind of looks close. Like, the armor's kind of cool and badass, but it's these horns.
All right. And yeah, when I think about your character, I do see her in more anime.
This is hella anime. But yeah,
the eyes far too small.
But yeah, in terms of description for a tiefling, I have bright red skin and white eyes that have no pupils. So think like the Hyuga clan from Naruto, but without the veins.
See, anime.
What I look like.
That's how tieflings look. That's not even anime.
Yeah, but you just referenced Naruto, which is anime.
Yes, but I'm just as in it because you made me think of it because you said anime.
Trev, what do you look like?
Hold on.
Okay. Frank, what do you look like?
Alright, well, it's loading right now.
Short.
Okay. No, he's got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm 40
Short.
years old. I'm 4 foot nothing.
Yep.
I got skin like an Italian.
Yeah, Italian as hell as it's
Italian as hell. And I'm 130 pounds with brown hair.
Nice.
sick beard. It's awesome.
Wow.
Do you have like the Italian tan skin going on?
Yeah, that's yep.
I feel like I need to make a really sharp point on this right now. Is that description gave birth to the entire Jerselheim arc, and I'm not even fucking kidding.
I am from.
Yep.
3 words, Italian as hell, was the reason why that whole arc was it. And I was so happy with that.
Next up, let's jump over to Trev. You done?
All right. Anyway, essentially, the easiest frame of reference I can use for Trevathan is if you just think about Fenris from Dragon Age 2, he basically was inspired, like almost entirely. He looks an awful lot like him, and that's about it. Because his only important physical feature is either the gigantic sword he carries or the diamond on the back of his hand, which is important for story reasons. But otherwise, he just fucking looks like Fenris.
And
There is a second part to that description, which is he looks like Fenris and is also cut like Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, because he fucking carries a gigantic sword that's as big as him all around all the time.
Yeah.
He's not the toughest guy, but he's strong as hell. But that's it. And
So you're not the willowy looking elf that everybody else thinks.
he's been fighting for a long time. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hey Craig, would you mind sending me the link to my Phaedra PDF? It used to live on my desktop.
Your what?
The link to my PDF page for my character
I gotcha.
that has been lost.
Yeah, I gotcha.
To system restore.
If we're going
it
to be
should be in
honest,
your Google Drive.
I thought you said Phaedrapedia, and I was like,
Oh,
fucking
not quite.
Aramil, what do you got?
I'm 300 or so. I live in the woods, protecting trees. I'm an elf. I'm like, I don't know, like 5'8". I'm pretty like slender. You know, I've been living in the woods for 300 years, protecting a tree. So
Yeah, I'm protecting a tree for 300 years.
You said you're 5'8"
yeah, I'm like
and 300 pounds, and you call yourself
300
slender.
300 years old.
Oh, okay.
What color?
Imagine. Well, I do that.
Roly-poly-oly.
What color hair do you have?
I do. What?
What color hair and eyes do you have?
The colored hair? I don't know, like kind of brown, right? I don't know.
I thought you told me it was like silver or something.
Sure,
I also
silver.
remember it. Silver.
And it's long though. It's long. You know, I've been living in the woods.
Are we like Legolas kind of?
Yeah,
Kinda,
Emily
yeah.
drew a picture one time. I don't know if she got it.
I'm going to imagine you as like Thranduil or Legolas. Or
Yeah, I've
Haldir.
always imagined Aramil essentially as Legolas, except his hair has been poofed backwards.
Yeah. Not clean.
and with a few twigs in it, just kind of
Yeah.
for accoutrement.
At all times.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotta bring that nature with you, especially when you're underground. Nyx.
I'm a gnome. So I'm very tiny. I don't remember exactly how tall I said I was. I think I might be under 4 feet.
I think you might be 3.5.
Gnomes
Yeah.
are shorter than dwarves, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm shorter than Trunks, but I can't remember by how much. And I think I did not weigh very much, like 40 to 50 pounds. I'm pearl sized. I'm pearl.
Ride Pearl is a horse, is what you're saying?
I'm what?
Ride Pearl is a horse.
Yes.
Gnomes,
That's a quest, right? Can we get Nick?
Gnomes can, in fact, ride mastiffs as mounts.
Can we make that?
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I could do that.
Oh my god, he's right. My god, we've done it.
By God. All right, and finally, Marleman, what do we got?
Let's see. So Marleman was a like an orphan in a fishing village, so he kind of grew up to be like a guy who lifted stuff a lot and also like worked on ships and things like that. And so he's kind of a lean but cut dude. He's got blue eyes, like a blue greeny eye, and he's got like he had short, like really kind of military cut type of haircut for a while, but I think since he's been traveling for a while, he's kind of let it grow a little shaggy. He's a little bit of a, I mean, we all know how he's kind of a lunatic in a weird way. Like in not like a chaotic lunatic, you know what I mean? Like he's just kind of a dude who wants to be spontaneous in a weird way.
Acts on impulse.
Yeah, absolutely. He is
I noticed.
Funny man.
a very impulsive dude.
But you are human, right?
Yeah, he's human. I'd say he's probably like I don't think he's like tall or like seen as like a tall human, but he's definitely, I think he's like 6'1".
Okay.
So he's not like a big dude, but like he can hold his own in a fight if he needs to.
So he's like Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, but like good looking.
And not a piece of shit.
Hey!
Jeremy Renner is a piece of shit.
What?
I hate to break this to you, but Jeremy Renner is a both homophobic and sexist piece of shit.
What? No! Aww.
But
Damn.
Hawkeye's not, so don't worry.
I regret to inform you that Milkshake Duck is racist.
Yeah. All right, and Sai, just to complete the party, why don't you describe yourself? Because I don't think we actually had to do that.
No, I don't think I ever did. So about 5'11", 180 pounds of half elf, half human. So long hair in a ponytail, kind of, and decently big size. You know, he's a smith by trade, so he's got some muscle on him.
Okay.
A cut dude. What kind of stuff? He's
also
a
handsome.
smith. What kind of stuff did he like smith on?
He's
Oh, Pearl.
almost
Your dog is amazing.
Heather, I don't think you got the pictures of Pearl literally attacking me a couple of weekends ago.
She's got a good judge of character.
Aw.
She was nice to me.
No.
Not that kind of attacking.
Oh, then she has poor taste of character. Who would seem.
Stood atop me and made my face red with the amount of licking that was done.
Literally tried to jump his bones.
Ooh.
That's great.
He like straight like bent over against the thing and she tried to like jump up in the air on the mount.
Wonderful.
What a good song.
So, Jason, you said you're half elf?
Yes.
Okay, so that would mean Marleman is the only member of our party who doesn't have dark vision.
Yes, Solomon remains the only person without dark vision.
He compensates for it with spontaneity.
This is true. Speaking
Who needs to see when you could trip on the floor?
This is true.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of which, so last time around, You guys got lost in some trees for a little while. Met a giant rat. Talked with him for a bit. That was fun. Then he called over his boss, which was a giant owl, who then transformed into an owl lady.
Right.
She explained the history of lycanthropes, usually what lycanthropes do, and how they survive in your guys' world, aka not well. And firmly established that the creature you met back before you journeyed to the Feywild a few days ago was A, not part of her tribe, and B, weird. You were then politely requested by your new party member, Sai, to make a quick side trip before returning to the Sealy, and that is to the Twilight Grove, which you had heard about as the lair of the Tabaxi. Somewhat related to lycanthropes in some way, you don't know how, but with a bit of a falling out.
Those are going to be fun.
And with that, we return.
Okay.
Where were we at the time? I forget.
Leaving.
Yeah,
We need to make our pit stop.
Yeah, we were going back to our guide because we had just finished up the battle, so we were waiting for. We gotta go.
Oh,
back
right, and then also Marleman died.
And then yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I was dead for a while.
Yep.
Dead for a bit there.
Did I say dead? I meant spontaneous. I'm sticking with it until it sounds good enough.
Spontaneously dead.
Spontaneous combustion, if you will.
And so, you guys are returning to Forza?
Yeah, like I'm back alive now, right? Like
you're fine.
we dealt with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
you waited enough time passed for you
just
to pop back into yourself. All right.
Craziest thing in the world.
So where do we need to go now?
Hook up with our guide and then go to the Twilight Grove.
Let's go meet our guide.
Yeah.
All right.
So you guys walk maybe 20, 30 feet away from the clearing where you had left Burke and Claire, who had begun to return to the tribe. And as you're walking, it's slowly getting more and more foliage. You would notice as you were walking deeper into the Unseelie that the trees were starting to space out more. The actual foliage itself was starting to die. And it is still very cold. I need everyone to roll a Constitution check.
I'm gonna roll blue boys today.
Yeah, I have mine.
Yeah. Trev, you have advantage on this.
Oh, did I mention Marleman was blonde?
No, you had not.
Ooh.
How would I expect?
He's a surfer dude with attitude.
And what are we rolling? I'm sorry.
Constitution check. Not a saving throw, just a check.
19.
You're good.
Okay.
14.
You're good.
18.
You're good.
Probably
Well-
the modifier's different. 16, but that also is probably fine.
Still fine.
You're good. You're good.
Next.
14.
Good. Armil.
12.
I also roll that with disadvantage because you're still covered in the stuff from earlier.
So what? I roll again
Roll
and
twice,
then
take
take
the
the
lower.
Take lower.
10.
You are still just barely good. You get a little shivery as you continue to walk, but no real ill effects. The cold is there, but not affecting you in a really meaningful way.
I don't have to roll.
You still have to roll. If you didn't have the coat on, you'd have disadvantage. So as you guys are moving through, the cold is remaining, but the foliage is starting to return again. The forest is starting to come to life until you come to the tree where you guys left Forza, kind of curled up a bit on the ground, asleep.
Hey, Forza. We're back.
Oh, really?
I'm trying not to like spook him. Just trying to be like, hey, we're back.
He is asleep, ass asleep.
Okay, I don't think. All right, cool. All right.
Make a loud approach. Make our presence known.
That's up to you. How do you do that?
Don't make me do something. That's fair warning right now.
I'll start walking because I'm clanky, and so he should hear me approaching.
Okay.
Also, like,
As you approach, clanking as much as you can through the trees as you go.
I didn't say that, but I just said my natural clankiness, but all right.
Okay. Yeah, your natural clankiness. You get the gentle rise and fall of his chest. You can see him. He's certainly not dead, but he makes no reaction to you approaching. He seems to be deep in some sort of slumber.
Okay.
I don't want to bother him.
I mean, is he okay? Like, is there a way to check if he's like under a spell or something? Because he should be in our presence.
I mean,
Roll
a rooster sound.
I'm rolling Arcana or Medicine.
Medicine would be if you genuinely think he is currently unhealthy. Arcana would be, is he under some sort of spell?
I don't think he's under any spell. I think he's like meditating.
Prestidigitation of a rooster sound.
Nope.
All right.
See, good
No,
thing.
Trev is doing that. Trev also has
Listen, I don't need you. I can do it.
I know. That's what I was saying.
It's rock and roll.
You do that. This very loud cock-a-doodle-doo. Slight shift, bit of movement, and you see his head kind of turn. He had been staring at the ground. But you see his head turn, kind of look towards you, or where the sound came from at least. Those of you who are in the front of him can see his irises and eyes are completely milky white.
Oh.
That ain't good.
Forza, are you okay?
What'd you get for Arcana, Marlon?
I'm sorry.
What'd you get for Arcana?
I didn't roll. I was waiting to find out what it was.
No, my bad.
I rolled.
One.
Nat fail.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't really tell if he's just asleep and his eyes look weird. Like, maybe that happens here in the Feywild.
I've seen that before. That's a nap.
Yep.
Fuck this. I'm rolling Arcana. I don't know.
Okay, do it.
13.
All right, that's better. He seems to be in some kind of trance. Doesn't really seem to be paying attention to the surroundings around him. It's just his mind is not there.
I really want to like slap him. That feels like that'd be bad.
Well.
Yeah, don't do that.
That could also break the connection if it like.
Yeah, you should try it.
It could be like an Inception kick. Like you could knock him out of it, and that might not be good.
I don't want to wake sleepwalker.
You don't want to wake somebody up from a nap in the middle of the night.
No.
That guy's gonna be pissed.
Well, I wondered because he said that his son was the bear we met before, so maybe this has something to do with that. Like, maybe he's not. Maybe he can. Oh, yeah. What's it called? What's it called?
Communing somehow.
When you can move astral project or whatever. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I don't know.
Can we get to wherever Sai wants to go without him?
I don't want to go without our guide, though.
He wouldn't want us to go there anyways, wouldn't he?
I don't recall if we know that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable.
You can make an insight check based on what you know from Forza previously.
Sure.
Oh, that's all me. That's all me.
I'll do it too.
Jason, why have you become 2?
10 plus 7.
Nat 20!
Okay.
Oh.
Right. You both get the feeling by the, like, stay on the path, sort of let's get in and get out of here nature of Forza through the entirety of this journey. Probably would not want you guys to go on a side trip to some other place.
Yeah, all right.
That's
all right, let's listen. He's clearly busy. Let's just go do our thing.
We can't just leave him.
Someone just.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sorry guys, I'm just grabbing my thing.
We just had to go meet up with him anyways, right? How far away was he from us from when we had that meeting?
Where?
Like, did he go with us? He didn't go with us, did he?
No, he's been here while we've been doing that.
Yeah, so we could totally,
If I remember correctly, we were also given directions to the place we need to go.
I can't be the only one who would feel uneasy about doing that, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave it to the group to decide, I suppose.
I don't feel comfortable leaving him here.
What do we decide?
That's a safe area.
Okay, well we can stay.
I mean, he lives here,
Wow.
right?
Anyone tried, like,
From-
Phaedra said his name.
What?
You said his name, didn't you? Someone like called out to him.
Is this
Yeah,
man
I
dead?
did. I called
he
out.
dead?
I called out to him. No, he's not dead. He's.
He's in some kind of trance.
I think you're basically
Can he
right
do
in a
that?
sense. I think he's astral projecting.
That's my guess, at least by the way
I
his
think that's
eyes
what's
look.
going on here.
I mean, I could
Um.
on a check.
Hmm.
I'm an arcane trick.
Ooh, I have an idea. I cast message.
Okay.
I'm gonna send him a message. It says you
Okay.
point your finger toward. I point my finger at him, and I say, "You listen here, bud." That's not actually what I say.
Yeah, no.
No, it says you point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target, and only that target, hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Okay.
I can cast it through solid objects. If you're familiar with the target, you know beyond the barrier, magical silence, blah 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 blah.
Okay. What are you sending?
I'm sending a message saying, "Hello, I'm looking for my Uber." More or less.
Okay.
You get my gist. I'm saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, are you there? We're looking at we can't wake you up. We're trying to go somewhere now."
You cast the spell. You pass along your message of, "Hey, we're good. Are you ready to go?"
Yeah.
And after 10, maybe 15 seconds, you see his mouth whisper out that only you can hear, Marleman.
Oh God.
I am
Okay.
returning now.
Okay.
And about 5, maybe 10 seconds later, his eyes flip back over completely, do a full
Oh.
360 in his head,
Welcome
Um,
back.
No thanks.
and blinks once and looks at all of you and goes,
Hello.
"How did it go?"
Well, we're all still alive, so that's a
Went
good sign.
well.
I mean,
So-
we're not dead, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, not
died, right?
anymore.
Perfect sign.
Good.
We got some.
Shall-
information. Seems okay.
Shall we return to the court?
Actually, we have somewhere we need to go. We have to go to the Twilight Grove.
Excuse me?
We have to
I'm
go to the Twilight Grove.
a tourist. I want to see it.
He has pictures to take.
Why?
That's a question for our other
Yeah,
platform
We
friend.
have business.
Yeah.
I
Because
definitely give eyes.
I'm under orders to go there
From who?
from someone with a higher pay grade than you.
You know who he works for. We don't know enough, but we know that's probably important.
Forza stance, sort of shuffles a bit, looks at you, sigh.
Mhm.
I was told, bring you to the Unseelie and bring you back. What you do here in the Unseelie is on you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we didn't want to just like go and not like inform you about what we were doing. Didn't.
Very well.
I appreciate. I
Do you-
will guide you to the grove.
Cool. Yeah. If you're not comfortable going, that's totally understandable.
Oh, we don't
Yeah.
expect you to enter the grove. That's
I only ask that you give us directions on how to get back when we're done.
yes.
I will wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
That's nice.
Greatly appreciated.
He
Yeah.
sort of shuffles a bit, rolls his shoulders, and says, "Follow me,"
Cool.
and begins to walk towards the first sun, which in this weird other flip is off to your... Okay. So you looking at an actual compass, When you guys came out of the water, you walk towards second sun, which is at the direct east, if there was a north, south, east, and west. First sun is to the northeast.
Okay.
Is he standing in?
I also shouldn't say sun because they're moons. They're 3 moons.
Is he standing next to the other moons in terms of like perspective? Like if I were looking, like I'm trying to see the shot here.
Yeah. So if you're looking at first moon,
Yeah.
second moon is directly to your like right.
Yeah.
And third moon is like here.
Okay, and where's he?
He is walking directly towards first moon.
Should we just follow
Okay.
him?
Marleman says aloud, "Look, we've got a moon and a moon," because we see his big butt.
Jesus Christ.
Ha
He doesn't seem to react and just continues to paw forward.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one was a worker, but I got there. Okay.
Parliament, be nice.
Oh,
I wasn't me picking on him.
He's very conscious about his body.
I didn't realize he was conscious of his butt. I mean, he walks around like he ain't got a problem about it, so it's whatever. All right.
So, Forza leads you guys deeper into the Unsteely. You walk for almost 3 hours towards first moon. It doesn't get any closer in any sort of capacity, nor does it start to move overhead. It remains exactly where it is in the sky. The undergrowth remains kind of sparse and a little bit dead for the most part. The temperature does not change. The darkness is still omnipresent just about everywhere. This is a desolate place, but as you guys get deeper and deeper towards first moon into the Unseelie, vegetation starts to come back. You pass through this area of dead and come into short holly bushes, they look like, followed by soft moss underneath that is warm. The trees, while still primarily coniferous, become thicker and lusher with their branches and needles. There is life here where you haven't really seen much of it in the Unseelie. And Forza leads you guys deeper and deeper into this kind of oasis. But the one drawback to that is that it gets darker. Whereas some natural moonlight was coming down for 3 moons, in here where the vegetation is so thick, there's almost nothing. Those of you with dark vision, which is just about all of you, can still see.
Don't say just about. Say all but one. It's fine.
All but one.
Just don't you have light as a cantrip?
I have light as a cantrip, which
Well, there you go.
I
Are you
don't
going to use it?
like. I don't like to use that because it might let people see us. You know what? Yeah, I am gonna do that.
Okay. So, Marlon, you flip up a light cantrip that helps everybody with the exception of Trev. But Trev, I assume you have your sunglasses on, so it's not
Got
really a
his
problem.
shades on, bro.
So what you guys can see are shapes and shadows that resemble a normal forest, but it's not a normal forest. The sounds are very different. There's very minimal wind. It's just cold. Everything feels very brittle, even here in this oasis of life. And the shadows and shapes kind of reflect that. They're very jagged and sharp and big and looming. The light cantrip creates very interesting shadows on the trees and the bushes as you guys go. I need all of you to roll a stealth check.
Yep, that's why I don't like to do that.
All of you with disadvantage if you're standing within 10 feet of the light.
I already have a disadvantage.
That's
anyway.
why I don't like doing that, guys.
19 and 9.
All right. 10, 9.
I rolled a 15.
And a.
You with the fucking torch. Oh yeah, god damn it, disadvantage.
9.
Cool.
Sorry, I think I spelled it for everyone.
6.
2.
Nope.
Everyone's
Nix.
doing a good job of spoiling it for everyone.
22.
Okay. Armel.
18.
Are those both with disadvantage?
Wait
Just
a
to be
minute.
sure.
Yeah.
14.
Okay.
Did you guys all roll disadvantage?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are
We
nice.
won the first.
I was like, you guys are hanging out with me.
Right. Lost.
I got a
10 feet's a lot of
9, dude.
I got
So-
2. So I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
There's no nice way to put it. You guys are not particularly stealthy as you walk through this this oasis.
We're singing
Nix.
like folk songs.
As per usual, clank, 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 clank. Whoops.
Yeah. A lot of
And
clank,
yet I'm
clank, clank,
not,
Also
and
wrestling.
I'm not the loudest. That would be
That's
Marlon.
our folk song.
No, it's actually Psy.
Yeah, I'm not the loudest.
And Psy,
He said he
as
had
you... Psy got a 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he said a 12.
2.
You're...
Modified.
I'm like right in the light.
Yeah.
You're hugging me.
You know, you guys are creating light as you go, and in this land of eternal darkness that's noticeable anyway. And as you get deeper into this oasis, Forza sort of slows down and then stops and looks at all of you and says, I wait here.
Okay.
The
Okay.
grove is that way more.
Thank you for leading us here.
Don't die.
You will try very hard.
And then he farted.
Excuse me. I
can't get the image of just the loincloth. Just
There's no loincloth. There's no loincloth. There was just
Yeah.
balls waving in the breeze, dude.
you said there was a loincloth.
No.
Okay, then it's his balls waving in the.
All right, fine.
And now we're
Yeah, you guys made that happen. Okay. Oh God.
Forza kind
What
of
this
settles.
does to me.
Forza sort of settles into another tree and sits down and watches as you guys head deeper into the grove.
awesome.
All right. Sai, why don't you lead the way since this is your
Shindig.
whatever?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay.
And realistically, I don't think we'd be doing too well sneaking up on anything here, anyways. Because
Well, I mean, I'm not built for sneaking.
no,
I'm like always invisible, so.
they have,
No.
they have home field advantage anyway. So
I'm a tiefling in armor. I make noise.
yes.
So we're about to fight something in here. Is that why we came here, Sai?
I'm hoping to avoid a fight, but you know,
Okay.
that hasn't really been this group's motif.
Alright.
Anything we should be on the lookout for? Do you want to prep us? Should we not do a thing or do a thing?
When we, I mean, keep your weapons nearby, but don't draw them. Don't act aggressively unless they provoke.
Okay.
All right.
And but like keep your eyes peeled.
Okay.
These might not be the most like honest beings in the world.
Alright.
In the land of the unseelie?
I
No.
know. So just be prepared, but
Let's go.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I'm prepared.
and I want to point to you, Marlon, and be like, keep your trap shut.
Oh.
Oh,
Do not get us in trouble here.
okay,
He's like your friend.
okay.
Just provoking.
Good thing you can make a bunch of noise with your hands.
I don't need to talk.
Oh my
And as you say that, Marleman,
Yeah, no, come on.
you all step into a relative clearing. The bushes sort of fall away. There is a large space in between a number of trees. You actually, for the first time since you've entered this oasis, see the one of the moons high in the sky off to in front of you. It's absolutely beautiful. There are flowers dotted around the bushes. There's vines crawling up one of the trees. It seems like a paradise here in. It's so cold, but it's not like as cold as the rest of it was. Everything just kind of breathes life here.
Okay.
All right.
That's really neat.
No, that's not good.
Oh.
Well,
Aren't we in a place that things shouldn't be alive?
I mean,
not necessarily. It's just kind of the darker aspects of things.
Like, am I? Okay.
So what we live here is probably dangerous anyways. Just so you know.
Well, usually.
Okay. Well,
I'm just worried we're being tricked.
Are we just like standing in the middle of this clearing right now? Is that what's happening?
At the moment, you guys have kind of stopped walking to take in these sights. The clearing itself is about 100 feet around. It's fairly large.
Yeah.
You guys kind of stop to get your breath and whatnot. Trev, Aramil, and Sai, can you three make perception checks for me?
Yes.
Need to know what your elf eyes see.
Not much.
For the record, Marleman is suspicious.
9.
You're always suspicious.
will you remember that later?
Yes.
All right, what Trev? Trev, what do we got?
9.
9? Aramil?
19.
19.
yeah.
Sai?
Bam!
Yeah, 13.
13. Trev and Sai, you guys notice that in this clearing for the first time, because you can kind of see the ground as opposed to it being obscured by bushes, this is a well-worn clearing. There's a number of footpaths throughout. Areas of the moss have been trampled down where people have sat or ate. And you also spot footprints, fairly large paw-like footprints in the ground in pairs of twos. Aramil, you notice all of that, while also notice signs of movement, not current movement, but disturbed leaves, bushes that are still kind of reforming themselves. It seems like whoever was here left in a hurry and recently.
Guys, something just left here.
Huh.
I don't know
Okay.
what it is, but
All right.
Where? Well, obviously we know where.
Where exactly are we headed, Sai?
We were just told the Twilight Grove, and this is a grove.
seems
So-
like it.
Yeah.
Can I roll
definitely
survival to
something
see where the
weird.
footprints seem to go?
Say again, Trev?
Can I use survival to see where the footprints seem to lead?
Yes, you can. Roll survival check.
20.
Cool.
Nice.
The footprints, for the most part, seem to actually just kind of run in circles. There are a few that have darted off to the sides, and a few that have darted up, or at the very least at bases of trees, and then vanish.
Nice.
Or can anybody tell if we're being watched right now?
I can detect magic,
I mean,
but I don't think it's magic.
I mean,
I could
like,
could use Arcane Eye again, but it's only 30 feet, so it's not. It can only go 30 feet from me. It's not that
Sire.
far.
Hang on, let me just ask this question. Sai, are you looking up?
huh?
Are you looking up?
Yes.
I am.
Oh, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody who's now looking up, roll a perception check.
Okay.
I imagine
Just
I'm
8 people.
probably just because I
I was not looking up because
I was not looking up. Yeah.
No!
Natural 1
I
means
got
I probably
another-
wasn't either.
I got another nat 20.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got 13.
13.
What's 8?
Wasting it all on fucking checks rather than battle.
Just to speed this up, does anybody else have above an 18?
Nope.
Okay.
Just me.
So everyone, like, once Trev kind of relays these footprints that vanish into trees, you guys kind of like look up and look into the tree line. And Phaedra, as you're doing it, among the stars that are peeking out through the leaves, you spot 3 or 4 pairs of yellow, what look like lights, very dim lights, mixed in with the stars that are too bright to be stars, but are also muffled in some way. And you just get this kind of, when you look upon them, this prickling feeling in the back of your neck that these are not nature.
Hey guys, I think we have company. I'm gonna make sure I whisper it so it's like only this little group of us who can hear that. I'm not like, hey guys, I think there's something in the tree.
Fair enough.
You're not telling us this while playing the steel drums.
Cool.
Pull out my squeeze box and tell them.
Yeah.
As
I
you
think
whisper
somebody's out there.
As you whisper that, Phaedra, and keeping your eyes on where you spot these 3 pairs of eyes, one of them begins to move slightly to the left, closer to the base or the trunk of the tree, and slowly begins to drift down it. And as it does, you begin to see more and more of an outline, a long feline shape, black head with black fur. Piercing yellow eyes that you can now see much brighter than they were before. Short tufts of ears, but with long black braids braided down the back of this creature that are kind of falling forward as it climbs down the tree. A gray silk shirt over the front part of it, and a pair of black breeches as it begins to climb down. 2 short knives belted to the side.
Can the rest of us see it at this point as it's climbing down?
As Phaedra kind of pointed them out to you, so as it creeps lower and lower on the tree, you guys are able to begin making out this form.
Oh my god, it's the predator.
And it sort of stops maybe 50 feet up on one of the branches and sort of paces out to the center of it and takes a seat, looks down at all of you and says, I can understand the common tongue. I know you saw me.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Well, that saves me a spell slot.
Uh,
I can never tell who knows common around here.
Why have you come here?
And I look to Sai.
I give Sai eyes.
yeah. Hang on, I got this.
That's 2 people here.
I've come seeking Purple Claw.
You come seeking an audience. Did you bring any missive?
Yeah.
You know, like a bribe. You want to get in? You got to pay him something.
Hmm.
It's like a letter of interest.
Yeah. I don't believe I have a missive, but
Prestidigitation, that shit, Marleman. What are you good for?
I cough and I...
by the Sealy Court.
Yes, it's been a while since we've heard from the court. I was wondering if they were beginning to get worried. Very well. I assume Oberon sent you.
You assume correctly.
Very well. You may be on your way. And it begins to start climbing or walking back along the branch and begins to climb back up the tree.
Okay.
Where do we go?
Is that a no?
Where's
Do we-
Purple Claw?
Do we wait or do we go somewhere?
We need more information.
The court, it like stops and turns back down at all of you.
Sorry,
And sort of
sorry, first time
embarrassed.
visiting.
Yeah.
and sort of sighs a bit and then leaps down from the tree and lands on the ground and stands up.
We pull out little
2
pen
legs.
signs.
And now that it is fully in the moonlight of the grove, you can see this is a humanoid cat creature. Long black prehensile tail wrapped around its right leg. Large paws of hands with fingers that are meaty and thick and padded like a cat's would be. And it's sort of, and the face, while feline structure and whatnot, is still humanoid. It sits on the neck, much like a humanoid's would. The ear tufts kind of fall to the back underneath these long black braids. And it looks over at all of you and says, "The answer is that Purple Claw's busy. And if the court wants to come speak to us, they can first give us what we asked for."
Sass is real.
What
We
did
don't. Which is the what?
Wonderful. As usual, the incompetent court decides to send us people who don't know shit.
Apologies, we're not from this plane. We're kind of.
I can see that.
Teach us
Or
the shit.
any other one, or is that? Is this technically the same plane of existence, Gary? Or is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, like because I wasn't sure if the Sealy and
I-
Unsealy. Okay, because we're not even from the Sealy plane of existence, so.
Okay. So, Phaedra doesn't know this, but just for your own benefit, I will explain. So, the Feywild as a thing is a different realm. It's a different plane of existence.
Mhm.
The Sealy and the Unsealy are like the overworld and the Underdark, essentially. It's just the division is a little bit different here.
Oh, okay.
They are still one plane of existence.
Okay.
Same coin.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
It would
Thank you.
also be within character for Phaedra to attempt to apply rules that she knows to a place where she's been.
Yes,
So that
very true.
Anyway, what's this fucker want?
Yeah. What was the thing want?
You see, we asked the court for a place in the Sealy, and they still won't give it to us. They've left us here to die, and we don't appreciate. So, if they want to talk to us, they can give us a seat.
If you won't take any envoys from them, how are you ever going to get your seat?
Because we won't be here anymore.
Yeah, but they have to send somebody out to invite you. What if that's him? I don't know what he's here for. Maybe he is.
Maybe we could help you. Maybe not from them, but from the goods of our own hearts.
Also, if we're working with them and you are just completely brushing us off, if you don't want to work with them, then you're not going to get to work with them, you know?
Yeah.
Try to roll a persuasion check real quick. And as
Why do I always do this? I'm so bad at this.
This conversation, the two other pairs of eyes, Phaedra,
All right, 18.
have also detached themselves from the top of the tree and begun to climb down.
I am
One-
keeping an eye on them, but not like the whole time. There's kind of like occasionally glancing over.
One of them is a deep purple color.
What color are his claws?
I want to pet you.
You can't see, they're on a tree. Is a deep purple color with what looks like shaggy blonde hair, kind of pulled back, not in braids, but just sort of kind of just pulled to the back behind the ears. And the second is actually more of a cheetah print. It's black with white spots as it makes its way down as well. No other hair outside of the fur. As what you assume to be a tabaxi speaking to you kind of crosses his hands again, and you got an 18?
Yeah.
And he goes, "You know, Otherworlder, you're not wrong. However, the court usually works in ways that don't involve people. That's why they've lived in their little shallows as long as they have. Perhaps we will hear what you have to say. So go ahead, say it."
Marlon literally looks over at Sai and is just like,
Nudge.
"You told me not to say nothing. I'm not saying nothing."
You did. So, I was instructed to speak with Purple Claw because he has something for me. A package to deliver. I assume this is relevant to you wanting a seat in Sealy. So perhaps this will help
come about that. Very well. I now understand the terms.
That's all good.
The other two tabaxi now drift down the tree as well and stay up on that branch about 50 feet up, staring at all of you.
Can we determine the gender of any of these?
They are hard to tell.
Damn it.
You can roll an insight check and hope you do real well.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. Uh, 12.
Nope. These are feline,
Yep.
speaking, talking humanoids. That in of itself is throwing you off quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just call
Let
them
alone
Pretty
attentive.
Kitty.
No. Don't do that.
The one you're speaking to turns back around and looks up the branch and goes, "They've come about the gift we have for them. Shall we go retrieve it?"
I
And
assume.
the two,
I've been. If it helps, when you mentioned the one with purple, I kind of was keeping an eye on that one.
okay. That one seems younger than the other two by quite a bit.
Okay. I wouldn't know that. I don't think, but I'm just.
I mean, you can kind of tell.
I just saw purple
They're-
and was like, "Ooh, maybe
Yeah.
that's Purple Claw."
Right.
They're humanoid creatures, and you can assign age in different ways. The way they move, although they do, all three of them move very silkily. The size of them, this one is a little bit smaller than the other two.
Okay.
And just in the face, there are less wrinkles, less signs of age.
Okay.
But the two on the branch just sort of chuckle, then drop to the ground as well as all three turn to all of you. The center one says, "Well, I shall go and retrieve Purple Claw and get the package you so asked for. I would ask that you wait here with my two compatriots, and I will return soon."
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds good.
Agreeable?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And they sort of turn and head off into the trees almost completely silently. Nix, you are impressed with how quietly these things move.
She's like, "I want to be like them someday."
Does Nick's like cats?
Why am
They're
I
so
not
cool.
that man?
Well, there's still two of them in the grove, right?
Yes, the purple one and the black and white spotted one are both still in the grove. The black and white spotted one has a long, looks like long sword strapped across their back. The purple one has a small hand crossbow tied to his side, as well as a small pouch of darts on the left. And both just sort of look at the group of you and just sort of wait in silence, staring.
Can I say a thing?
Of course.
I want to try and ask what this package is.
Okay. The black and white spotted one looks at you and sort of, and then says words in a tongue you've never heard before.
Okay, so you don't all speak common.
Is it Sylvan?
It is Sylvain.
So I can understand what it said?
Can I
Yes,
get can I know like one word? Can I catch like one word and I go, I know what that
Sure.
I know what
You,
that
Had, like, one
sure,
lesson of-
you catch the word is.
guys.
Hang on, Jay. Let me pull up Facebook. I'll send you what he says.
Okay.
You decide what you want to share.
Merde.
Merde.
It's a callback, gentlemen.
Really best sound.
Okay. So he said we'll find out when the other one brings it back. Who is
It's
not bringing it
I
back?
mean, you don't know what the package is, Sai?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I do. I was asked to do this.
You must have an assumption, though.
Honestly,
Like, is it an object or a person?
this is the
or
Fae. It could be both.
That's good. Yeah.
That's not exactly PC.
I hope
but-
it's not a person or bodily parts, preferably.
Fine, whatever.
But it could be.
I don't
But we
want it
hope
to be
it's
though.
not.
I hope it's not. It might be, but I'm hoping it's not.
What's in the box?
What's in the
As you-
box?
As you guys are discussing this, you begin to hear in the direction that the other tabaxi took off in, the sounds of undergrowth getting trampled on. You hear leaves and sticks getting broken as something moves through it. Judging by the way the tabaxi left, you would assume them not to be tabaxi because they move much stealthier than this.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you see,
Yeah.
Suddenly you see the black tabaxi exit the bushes. Yellow eyes still piercing forward, hands folded in front. He looks at all of you and says, I assume that the gift you're looking for is this one. He steps to the side, and 4 other tabaxi exit the bushes, all holding chains that are wrapped around the collar, or wrapped around in a collar of a black-scaled dragonborn.
Oh!
Drag through the bushes and onto the ground. It hits the ground on hands and knees and sort of glares around at all of you. Eyes landing on you for a second, Phaedra, and hissing deep under his breath.
Oh boy.
And the tabaxi sort of claps his hands together, looks at it and goes, yes, we found her deep in the side of the Feywild, attempting to do some sort of ill. We believe she has interest of the court. Trev, roll a perception check.
14.
You see it. You see on the left hand that is bracing this dragonborn on the ground, the white diamond carved into its scales, to the point that the skin underneath has actually swollen into a scar pressing through the scales.
Interesting.
Heather got a good freeze face.
Yep, Heather's got a great freeze face.
I'm gonna go grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Yep, we'll pause there for a second.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna grab a drink as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my god, stop putting your knee on me.
Pearl, stop putting your knees out.
It's
No.
Emily. Emily fell.
I ate it. And I
I'm
smashed
sorry.
it real
She
bad.
tripped over a curb and smashed her knee so bad.
I
Oh
smashed
no.
everything. I even skinned my elbow and
Oof.
but I
That's
like
just.
ripped open my knees. I tore my pants. It was bad. No.
Oh god.
It's terrible.
This is real bad.
No, it didn't seem bad at the time. Like, I looked at my hands and was like, whew, they're not cut. I'm okay. I got up and was like, this really hurts. Why does this hurt?
And then, oh no.
And my pants were ripped, and I was like, that's not a good sign. But it didn't seem so catastrophic at the time.
Were you on the way from or to work?
I was actually walking some of Ryan's dogs with him.
Okay,
So luckily I didn't work that day, at least.
that's good. How was Deckard, by the way, there, Frank?
He's good. He's still pissing everywhere because he's a douche.
How old is he again?
Almost 12 weeks.
No.
Okay, so of course he's still gonna piss everywhere and be a douche.
He's already over 20 pounds.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's a dense doggy.
He's gonna be like 60 pounds.
Good lord.
He's growing super fast.
Where is he hiding at the moment?
Oh, he's
Where's
in,
he hiding?
he's
Oh,
in
gotcha. Oh.
Yeah, he was out most of the afternoon, so. And he's being a douchebag, so he had to.
You're being a douche, you get the crate.
Yep, great training. I'll take him out later before I go to bed, though.
That's so good, though.
Sound
I'm
like
totally gonna say that to a dog one day.
Stop being a douche.
You're being a douche, you get the crate. I was
I'll be like,
actually looking.
if he's like pulling and shit, like when I'm walking around with him, like when we're walking, if he starts pulling, I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Give me back a donut. Give me back a donut. What are you doing?"
I was actually looking at dogs up for adoption today because I'm an idiot.
Did you look at the MSPCA?
No, you're just big-hearted.
Amen, brother.
Say again, Em?
Did you look at the MSPCA?
No, I wasn't. I was looking at a adoption finder or something like that.
Yeah, Pet Finder or something.
Well, we actually, so when we went
Not pet finder.
we found a different dog on, I think it was Pet Finder, but it was like at the MSPCA, so we went there. But then we liked Pearl.
Oh, Pearl.
Yes.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, you only get a puppy one time.
Yeah, she was a terrible walker, but she was already completely house trained. So
Well, that's all that matters, I guess.
yeah.
Does your dog still pee a lot in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry. I was watching a gif of Mike Tyson biting that dude's ear.
Fighting a
That was
what?
20 years.
Biting that dude's ear.
That was 20 years ago today. Yeah, he still peed in the house a lot, but he has control where we can walk him downstairs now
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
without him peeing, unless he's being a douche. So
Nah, fuck you, I'm peeing anyway.
Oh, yeah, do that.
yeah, you pee, you're getting your fucking face in it. That's what's happening.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
We show no mercy. We're nice to him, but you gotta discipline him. We can't beat him shit. out of him.
He'll learn quick.
Yeah.
He's smart.
When we first got Pearl, she accidentally peed in the apartment like once in like the first month that we had her. And like I was just surprised. And so like I said her name really surprised. And she got so upset that she went into her bedroom and put herself in timeout. I just like said her name and then she just like booked it to timeout and I was like I'm really not that upset. Like the first time you've ever done it, like you clearly feel bad. Like don't worry about it. But
I mean, that was also what happened when I did my whole. What do you last remember?
Alpha.
Black Dragonborn.
Oh really?
Oh, we're not talking about that.
Well yeah, but that was still
Yeah, sorry, my computer froze and I had to restart it.
Okay,
Sounds good.
What did I miss?
You missed.
my dog's being a douche.
Yep, you missed Deckard being Deckard. You missed the tabaxi explaining that they caught this dragonborn out in their territory, and that he thinks they will have interest of the court. And Trev noticing that it has the diamond-shaped crest embedded in its left hand.
Ah,
And that is all.
thank you.
And also that it saw you and hissed.
At me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, right, Dragonborn, duh. They don't like me very much.
This is
I
like
forgot.
Trev, do you like sense a connection?
the humanoid dragon, right? Dragonborn is like a
Yeah.
I don't know if it works that way.
If
But-
what happens?
He asked me if I sense a connection, and I said I don't know if it works that way.
Nope.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Think of it
I'm
as
I'm not.
Think of it as a ball with a bunch of different threads all connecting to the same ball.
And I'll also say I don't know how responsive I am with that because I'm currently pretty focused on trying to not fucking kill this thing right now.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
recognize how bad of an idea that would be, no matter how much I want to.
So yeah,
Oh.
Si, what are you gonna say?
Well, first I need, like, is it secured enough that we can transport it?
It's got the collar on with the 4 chains that are held by different tabaxi. Its hands seem to be loose in the front, and its legs also seem to be loose.
Okay. So can I? So I'll adjust the one that I know the name of, which I mean I probably shouldn't say, but
I mean,
Or
you
I can.
do, you do.
So I'll address the one who's been talking to us so far,
Okay.
and ask. Has it given any? Has it tried to attack anybody here?
Oh yes, repeatedly.
Oh.
Okay.
She
No,
very
it's
desperately
pretty rough.
does not want to be here
Then why have you left its hands open?
because there is very little a dragonborn can do to hit us.
Fair enough. Okay.
Can she talk?
Yeah.
Yes, I can talk.
Yeah.
It spits from the ground.
What is
Okay.
your name, Dragonborn?
Say again, say?
What's your name, Dragonborn?
You don't deserve it, you silly scum.
What about me? I'm pretty evil, right? Look at me. Look at this thing, huh?
This is the first time she looks over at you, Trev, and sees the patch. Let's call it, I guess.
Sure. We call it a brand. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, brand.
My
And
brand.
She gets a wicked smile across her face and says, so our ladies come to free me, huh?
Oh boy.
Was wondering.
Behave yourself, man.
Well then, if that's the case, let us move on as quickly as we can, shall we?
So, who's up for binding this thing's hands and mouth?
Oh, I don't want to buy
That won't be necessary. And she stands up, pulls against the chains bit, and brushes herself off. The tabaxi you all were talking about, his hands have kind of gone to the knives at his side, just sort of looking. She looks across the group and says, so, where are we off to?
The answer to that question is the reason why that might be necessary.
The in and out.
Let's not actually say.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Ugh.
Like, this thing's going to be dangerous, so
Absolutely.
I kind of want to limit how much information it has.
Hold on. Let's see. Hold on here.
Question
that's
for the
only
group.
up to a minute.
Does
Yep.
anyone have polymorph?
What?
Does anyone have polymorph?
No.
Only one person who could.
Marleman, how long does that last?
Oh shoot! I don't have it.
Oh, no.
So you
What?
don't.
I think I might have it on a spell scroll.
I think you used to have it.
I wish I still had Johnson.
I used to have it, but I cleaned
Clean
up.
it out
I
for-
cleaned up some of my old spells, and I moved stuff around.
Damn.
I have.
So I was gonna say turn her into like a little like lizard, and then
So like
put her in the
literally normally those things don't last that long. So
Oh, okay.
I thought about casting levitate and then having somebody pull him or her by like a string, like floating through the air. Yeah, exactly like a balloon.
But to make sure she's unable to push off of anything.
Yeah, but that also doesn't work
Mhm.
for more than 10 minutes at a time. So
What's the spell length on Enthrall and Charm? And
I think I also have a wish spell available.
I would not waste that here.
Not on your ring or whatever.
Yeah, it's on my my triple diamond ring has 3 spells on it, and I think I know which one of them is.
You know that one is.
I've written it down somewhere.
You know what 3 of them are now.
I mean, can't we do the old
I know
hit him
it's
behind the
fireball
head and knock
and
him
the-
out?
Can't
oh my
you,
god, can
guys?
we not beat up the prisoner that we have?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, like I think we're totally good.
What'd you just say, Nix?
No, I just was saying, like, I don't understand why we're immediately like reducing this prisoner to like an object, like a sack of trash. Like
Somebody-
I have a reason. I will say that much.
Me too.
I have a reason.
I think at this point, Marleman would be vocalizing his.
She's evil, but like,
Yeah. Well, how
That's
about?
why
like,
I
just
suggested
wouldn't-
knocking her out.
I hope that she doesn't lash out at us because I don't want to have to kill her because she's like politically important.
We can
I was hoping
handle
to
it.
avoid that whole situation, but maybe we'll just luck out and it won't be a thing.
she
Alright,
seems
we can handle it.
willing to just.
So,
How about we just
So-
hold the chain?
Yeah, let's just go for now.
hang on a second. Arcana for how oaths work with the Fae.
That is a history check.
History check. Okay. Anybody got a good history?
Mm-hmm.
You are the one who had this idea.
You would also need to be somebody who would know.
Yeah.
I would say Sai would be someone who would possibly know.
Him and maybe me are the only two that don't even have a chance, I would say.
You don't interact with the Fae very often. You're bound to
Right.
one, but
I've
He's
actually
probably
for years. So
yeah, you're the one. No matter how good we are at history, we don't know anything about it.
oh no shit.
what'd you come up with?
So 23 total.
Okay. Was that a natural 20?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know that the Fae respect oaths just the same as any other creature. Oaths between Fae and Fae are always the strongest.
Mm.
And that unbreakable oaths, this is something you could only get with the natural 20. Unbreakable oaths are something that can be sworn to a godly Fae, essentially, or a Fae, a strong position of power. The bonds between Fae and Fae, or Fae and unfae, have no actual strength. Just a word of bond.
Oh, okay. So even like the proxies of or the servants of higher Faes doesn't matter.
Nope.
I do have suggestion in Gios and hold person if we need them later. This
I
doesn't
mean,
have that.
those only work for like a minute. So
No,
I
they
have
don't
also-
actually.
I have also been looking at my spells, and I have water. I would
Suggestion
be-
lasts up to 8 hours.
I'm sorry to rush you all along, but we have to get moving soon. Would you please get her out of here?
Yes, and then I kind of like,
Trev,
from the back, like
Yes.
kinda, like lean her along, like come on, let's go.
yeah.
Are you taking one of the chains?
I would say, Trev, take a chain, please.
I got 2 hands for my weapon, if possible.
Yeah, I have a pretty good. Hold
If
on.
anybody can manage to fight better with one hand, that might be a good idea. I probably should have both of my hands. for
I'll
my
take them
weapon.
in the chains. I can fight with one hand.
I'll take one of the chains.
Wait, can I use Mage Hand?
Chunks, you take
No.
one of the chains as well.
But yeah, I have suggestion, which
Don't
can last
worry
up to
about
8
it.
hours. So if we have trouble, we've got backup.
Nix is right. It's actually incredibly very evil to just punish a prisoner ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us out of character. I don't think any of us should be doing this, except for maybe the neutral ones. There's some good people here who are being very not good.
I mean, I'm not that good.
yeah.
You're neutral.
Considering the situation, I would absolutely be doing this.
I mean, you of all people, yes. I get it.
All right. So here's how I want to roll this. I'll take a chain. Vader take a chain. Trunks take a chain.
Yep.
And
That's probably fine. Like,
Yeah.
Trev,
Yeah,
shake a
Trev.
chain.
no trouble.
I want to stand behind her, just in case she does something shady.
I could stand in the back. Is that what you want? You
Yeah, I want you in the back, watching our backs. And next, I kind of
Yeah,
want you like standing ahead.
I can beast form the shit out of her. We'll be good.
Right.
Dude.
And Nix, if you can just like pathfind my way back.
We gotta go back. All right, let's do this. Let's go back to Forza and let's see
And
what's
let's
up.
do that.
Go.
Is everyone
Alright.
All right.
keep an eye out?
You guys kind of collect the chains from
I
before
would like
Tabaxi.
to. I would also like to thank the Tabaxi for their time and their cooperation.
I was
Yeah,
actually
like-
about to address the Tabaxi again.
All right. No, you can also do real stuff.
Right.
They're all
So,
efficient.
like, not only thank them, but be like, is there any message you wish to send to the court on?
Yes, this is not the first gift we have given the court. I hope our application will be considered quicker.
No.
I will pass on the message.
You're cool by me.
Good.
I will try to vouch for you.
Great. Now, if you would all please leave my grove.
Your grove. Okay.
Enjoy the nature.
The Tabaxi sort of turns back to the group and makes a gesture, says something in Sylvain, and they all begin to drift back to the positions they seemed to be in before you guys arrived. If you just take a seat by trees, one pulls out a book and begins to write in it. Another crawls back up a tree. As you, Burl.
Sorry.
She's still right now.
She can hear you.
And as you guys begin to lead this Dragonborn into the woods back towards Forza, she is cooperating completely. She sort of walks along, swaying her shoulders, looks very comfortable. Once you guys get about 200 feet away from the grove, she sort of looks over at you, Trev, walking a bit in front of her. Or are you walking behind her?
I
No,
believe
Trev
I'm
and I are in
alongside.
front.
Okay.
Trevor's
Looks over at you.
Trevor's behind her.
I'm not going to allow. Like, I'm gonna keep my eye on her. basically.
I will walk
Gotcha.
in front.
Yeah, I thought I was in front with Trev.
Okay.
You're
Regardless.
Whatever.
She looks over to where you are, Trev, and just simply says, "So where are we actually going? I can't assume we're actually going to that dreadful court."
Well, you're gonna find out, aren't you?
Make a deception check.
I don't
I
even
think
know
it would
what
be
I'm doing
deception.
there.
Yeah.
Are
You know
you
what?
I'm not
trying to
lying
lie?
to her. No.
It's not you're lying. You're just
Being a
you're
dick.
trying to say not enough, like enough of not enough that she won't question it. I guess.
That sounds more like persuasion.
If
Yeah,
anything, that would.
Yeah.
Same idea.
I suck at both of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, same idea.
4. Nice.
Great.
I mean,
Nailed it.
charisma's bad.
She looks at you again, Trev, and says, "I'm sorry. You're going to need to be a little bit more specific about this. Where are we going?"
I don't owe you anything.
She stops walking. Tries to pull on the chains a bit backwards.
Oh no.
And attempts to rotate and look at you.
Hands on my
You're
weapon.
one of,
Yeah.
you're one of us. We're not going to the court.
That's enough talking. Enough from you.
Quiet, you. Where are we going?
All right. I know some of you aren't gonna like this, but I'm gonna strike the prisoner.
Don't strike the
Wait.
I mean, we
Roll
can't
attack.
make him stop.
I can't. Yeah, I can't make you stop. You're gonna.
Wait. Can we roll initiative to see who can try and maybe do something
No.
before he does his
No.
thing?
Nope.
No,
He gets a
you don't
surprise round no
expect
matter
it to
what.
happen.
Okay.
So, Sai, roll a physical attack.
This is
D20, add your strength.
20 strength modifier.
I was gonna try to hypnotic pattern her.
All right, 16.
Try to calm her the
That
shit
does hit. Roll 1d4, have it, and then add your strength bonus onto that.
Oh, you murdered her.
You're gonna fucking destroy this lady.
So 4 goes to 2 plus 1, so 3.
So you rolled 4 on this.
3 whole damage.
And then, okay, whatever.
I'm telling you, okay?
You backhand the Dragonborn, and she doesn't even phase her as her eyes continue to stare at Trev.
We just walk. Stop abusing our prisoners.
Mm.
She has dug her heels in the ground. She is doing her best to not move, even if as you guys pull on the chains.
I'm more than willing to cast levitate here.
Can I just try to ask her to walk? I don't think it's gonna particularly help. But
I'm all for diplomacy over action. Please.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's gonna work, but I'd rather at least try first.
As somebody who is neutral and good, yes, I agree.
As you try and ask her to walk, and she makes no movement, no even a twitch towards you. Her eyes are staring into Trev right now.
Yeah.
Listen.
Okay.
I'm sure, or maybe you haven't, but in some of your talks with her, you might have heard that there's one of us who doesn't quite listen to her anymore. Guess what? You found it. If you're going with us.
Oh shit.
We have. I don't want to hurt you. They don't want to hurt. He might want to hurt you. The rest of them don't.
Yo.
I could be convinced, but let's not do this. Let's just. You've become a pawn in political machinations that are bigger than all of us. And well, that sucks, but I can't. I'm not here to help you.
Roll a persuasion.
I could have enhanced your ability. God damn it.
I still suck at it.
She looks at you. Looks at the entire group. Looks back at you. And says, "How far have you fallen? You disgrace Our Lady? You assign yourself with people like that? With creatures like this?" The people like that is a point at Sai. The creatures like this is a point at Phaedra.
I assumed it was towards all of us.
I do the most dramatic eye roll of yeah, okay.
She gets huffy.
Yeah.
Whoopee. Like I haven't been prejudiced before.
And looks back at you, Trev. Says, There is no life outside Our Lady. You have chosen the path of dissonance.
Very surprised how much life there is.
Yeah.
At this moment, she attempts to lunge to her right at you, Phaedra.
Naturally.
Not making an attack, just trying to claw at your belt, and attempt to get the dagger you keep at your side out of its scabbard. Roll an athletics check.
Okay. Alright, athletics. What is that?
What is she trying to do here?
Strength.
Grab her.
No,
I have good strength. 20.
Okay, you're able to shove her off, and she falls against the chain. The chain is going
I was imagining it like I hold her head, and she's like, eh.
No,
I'm just
you shove her away. She is bigger than you. She's bigger than all of you.
Don't embarrass them.
Oh right, yeah. I'm just fine.
Okay.
All right,
and the only thing that stops her from hitting the ground is actually the chain around her neck, which catches her as she falls.
If she made a lunge at me, can't I use my glaive? Oh well, if I didn't pull it out. I would have.
You were holding a chain with one hand.
I would have been holding the chain. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, because I have a thing where if they come at me, that I can back end them with it. But I forgot I was holding the chain.
Whoa. Can we revisit the whole "let's tie her up" thing?
She's
no
chains,
but not her hands. You just want her knife.
You guys were handling it until you started having a ridiculous conversation. Answer her truthfully or end this right now.
I tried to solve the conversation by hitting her.
That's not how you solve problems.
Clearly not the answer.
It's a.
I told her we're going where we're going, and I got nothing more, man.
But I want
Yeah.
to keep her relatively submissive.
Now this is definitely Marlon out of character, like me out of character. Do we know what we are taking her back to the Sealy, right? Like,
With us. She's
Okay.
I'm making no bones about that at this point.
okay,
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't want to set her off in this trip. Like,
now she knows that that's where we're taking her now, right?
I mean,
Yes.
she knows that we weren't joking around. She apparently was like operating under some slight misconception that I was lying and running this operation to get her out, but that's not the case.
yeah.
No.
Now's the point where she realizes, oh, I'm actually captured by members of the Sealy. So
Yes. And this guy, and somebody who I hate, somebody who I'm racist against, and
Yeah.
somebody who I have a reason to hate for a lot of reasons.
having a bad time.
And a bunch of people she deems not
Oh,
important.
yeah. So anyway,
Again,
what
to the
happens
action.
after that?
like,
She attempts to get back up and then lunge at the next closest person.
can we get some total, please?
I mean, what do you want us to do? Like,
I cast hypnotic pattern.
Please do
Okay,
it
what's it do?
in such a way that it won't affect all of us, because that's a
Yeah,
really
because
big
that hits
switch.
a lot of people.
I have careful spell. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
use it.
Hold person. Until
Or you can do hold person.
This
Yeah,
person
That-
lasts a minute if I'm
that
not
will
mistaken.
probably-
Yeah, but it gives him enough time to use hypnotic power.
Hang on.
Hypnotic pattern only lasts for a minute. Like
So
Oh.
the range on hypnotic pattern is a 30-foot cube.
yes,
Each
I
careful, hang on. Each careful spell you can designate 4 creatures that are safe from it, up to your charisma modifier.
Oh boy.
How many sword points do you
It's
have?
in careful.
Where
spell.
do you see that?
It's in careful spell. To do
Yeah.
so, you spend 1 sorcery point and choose a number of those creatures up to your charisma modifier, which is 4.
Fine, you have
Why do
9
we have
points.
to have so many goddamn people in our party?
You have 9 points, whatever.
Guys, alternatively, if we tie her up a little more, I could turn into like a giant creature, and you could put her on my back, and I can just carry her.
You just carry her like an archer elemental or something. Maybe
Can you-
Could you
How big is this lady?
like make yourself look like a giant sloth
I can
to
probably.
hug her
What
and
end?
like
As you
hold
guys are
on?
having this conversation, she's rambling around, attempting to get at whatever weaponry she can find.
Yeah.
She's grabbing at belt knives. She's grabbing at swords if she can reach them.
I thought I cast a spell here, so
Well, that's the thing, Marlon. Are you using 2 sorcery points to do this?
wait.
No, because it's not worth it. The timing isn't worth it.
no.
Okay.
How big is this lady? Like, how big of a creature would I have to turn into?
She's taller than me.
Earth elemental, maybe? That would do it.
Like 8 feet? Like,
Like 8 feet tall with like a, I don't know, like an ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus seems like overkill.
She's like dragonborn are humanoid. They're taller than tieflings. Like
Would a rhinoceros work? Would a
Yes.
6-ish tops.
yeah.
Yeah, 6'5" is around the.
All right. Is
Well,
that
wait,
cool? Is
wait.
that a good plan?
Do we even have a way to tie her up more?
I mean,
Yeah.
rest of the chains.
We all have adventurers kits or dungeoneering kits, which presumably have rope.
And we can absolutely use the rest of the chains to lash our arms to her sides if that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
God, this is the most Trump episode ever.
I mean, at this
Is
point,
she attacking it?
at
Let's
this
just
point,
do that.
she's like outwardly aggressive, so like it makes sense to restrain her a little more.
Good
But
point.
Mhm.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
I was hoping to use like the minute of spell to like do this, subdue
Yeah,
her.
sounds fine. Anybody
sounds
who has
good.
something that can incapacitate her for the next minute so we can do this, just do it.
Oh God damn it!
I also have-
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. I got another one. Oh nope, that's also
I also
10
have
foot.
hold. I also have hold person if we need it.
Go
Well, I
for
mean,
it. Do it.
If it takes more than 2 minutes, then yeah, we're gonna need yours and backup. So
All right, what's hold person do?
The person's choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration up to a minute.
All right, wisdom saving throw. Well, she rolled a 2, so she is held.
There you go.
Old
Nice.
person.
Yes.
All right, so
All right.
get to work.
Okay, so let's tie her up.
Yeah.
All right.
Into a rhinoceros.
Yeah, I'm gonna go beast form. Right.
Remind me, how long can you keep the beast forms for?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that right now.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Troll did not like that.
Oh,
Okay, baby.
Somebody is Tokyo drifting through your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or through your fucking house. Jeez.
Let's stay in Tokyo.
Nice, Frank. Nice. I'm not judging, but nice.
Teriyaki boys, son.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
I
baby.
barely know that song, let alone the fact that it's Teriyaki Boys.
It's like the only song that we know.
oh, oh, baby.
Pearl, leave him. Leave him.
No, let's stay in Tokyo.
Hey,
Tokyo.
you can be a. So it's your CR of the CR of the creature divided by your character level. That is the amount of hours you can stay in. So you're level 10. If you choose a creature that is character level 2 or challenge rating 2, you can stay in it for 5 hours.
Okay.
That sounds like plenty
How
of
long
time.
will it take to get back?
You were walking without. You're walking this way, which is. You're walking this way about 4 hours.
More
but
importantly,
that was going from a position that was already 2 hours from the shore.
I have a more interesting question.
Yo.
How far away
Uh-huh.
was what's his name?
Forza.
From where we went to?
He's maybe half a mile away from you guys.
Okay. We should get there and see what he does.
You can be a hippogriff for 10 hours.
He might have a better idea of how to handle this situation.
Well, in either case, we're making sure that the Dragonborn's like bound and
Right.
gagged
Okay.
or whatever.
Yeah. At the very least, we're binding her.
He's
Yeah,
not
make-
gonna like this. He's not gonna like this at all.
She
No,
wants to
he's
kill
not.
us.
But
They
if
don't
this is what the court asked us to get, then whatever.
I got a bedroll we can tie him up in.
That's not
That's
a bad idea, actually. Like put him in the sleeping
like tying
bag and then
someone up in a
wrap her
sleeping
up like
bag.
a little dragonborn burrito.
Christ.
It's labeled in my equipment as bed Tostito rolls. Because that's how I picture them.
I kind of like this idea actually.
He could also be a bear for 10 hours.
What's next? We roll her up in a giant rug.
not that.
All right.
So what are you doing?
I think we should continue.
Yes,
I
but
think
we
do not be distracted by the
Wrap
way
them
she is
chains-
acting.
Wrap them chains tight as fuck around her
Yeah.
arms, and then we can keep going.
Between
Yeah.
whatever chains and ropes we have among us, just bind her up. And
Bind
then,
your
yeah,
arms
her
up, that's all that
her
matters.
legs too, so that way she can't
She
like.
has to be able to walk for now.
Yeah, we
unless
need-
you're
we need-
being-
oh my
carrying her.
God.
I thought we were carrying her. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I
Haven't
don't.
done that
I would
yet.
much rather she walked and didn't have any hands moving.
yeah.
This is at this
All
point we're
right.
splitting hairs.
Okay.
Question.
All right.
Question: Who is doing the tying?
I'm holding her, so
And then if I see any movement, I've got my
what
own
skill
person.
would that be? Because is that survival? I mean, that's not
That should be a strength check. That's
survival.
not-
Like not tying.
it would be a strength check, but that's not why I'm asking.
Intimidation.
I can tie-
Who is doing the binding?
I'm guessing either
I'll-
trunks or
I guess.
Could I use Mage Hand?
That's not.
In theory, I guess.
I mean, I could do it. I've got pretty good strength.
I would do it. He's
I
like
also
right
don't think
there.
that's what Mage Hand does.
I'll assist Sai in the tying up process.
I can
Alright.
use it to manipulate an object.
I'm
That would be rope.
concentrating. I can't do anything while I'm
Oh.
holding her.
Oh right, yeah, you're the one holding. Okay, then yeah. So I'll tie her up.
Okay.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
So what?
Yeah, I got another strength. Okay, that's not bad. 21.
You think you did a good job?
So what the fuck could the DC possibly be on a paralyzed target?
Nat one.
I mean, there's always a possibility. You forget how to tie knots. Fuck.
Yeah, you bind up her hands and her legs with chains. Wait, did you say you guys are going to carry her or no?
That's on you.
She's just gonna walk, right?
It's up to you, dude.
I mean,
If you want to carry her, then you can do it.
I think we should like limit the movement of her legs, but not like completely stop them from walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that possible? Is that
Yeah.
possible? Okay, then yeah.
You bind everything above the knees.
Yeah.
To keep her hobbled, but her legs are still able to swing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah.
And once the hold person ends, are you gagging her as well?
No.
Nah, not unless she does something mean.
I mean,
I don't intend to stand in fire breath range, but no.
Okay.
anybody think she can cast spells or breathe fire or some bullshit?
It's not my kind of kink.
Dragonborn can do that.
I don't know if you.
I was over gagging her at some point, so.
I would know
Oh,
that Dragonborn can do that, so I am very careful.
I mean, at this point, the minute's got to be up, so.
Yeah. The minute is just coming to an end.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
then yeah.
be careful
No,
with
it's
that.
fine. I'm aware.
You see the stiffness leave her bones, and she blinks and looks over all of you.
Yes.
What's up?
No.
Sorry, but you were trying to grab our daggers and shit. So,
I like how you're apologizing there.
So,
I'm sorry, but you were kind of attacking us.
here's what I think we should. We need to keep moving.
Yeah,
But
move.
Yes, we do.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
She's on the ground. She can't stand up. She can't use her hands.
no, but so I think
grab
two
them.
of us could like be behind her with like a hand on her shoulder and a weapon to her back at all times.
It's all you, bud.
Who is doing that?
Myself and
Yes, I am.
I need a volunteer.
What's up?
Okay, so
All right. You stand her up and put a blade to her back.
Yeah.
Walk her forward. Her progress is dramatically slower because of the binding on her leg. What the distance you can cover in 5 minutes will now take you 20. She is so thoroughly slowed.
Okay.
And as you begin walking, she kind of keeps her head down with a snarl across her mouth. You walk through the undergrowth.
no one's standing directly in front of her.
Do we want to rethink the carrying plan?
We'll just take it to further.
And as
We're waiting to
you're
see what Fortune
going,
thinks.
she kind of starts to slow up a little bit and attempt to drift backwards.
That's what the blade to her back's for.
She presses into the blade.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh, son
I
of a-
dig it.
No, this isn't. Oh.
What'd you just say?
I just said I dig it. I can find this clever.
Oh, gotcha. I thought Jason said I dig it. Said flip into her back. And suddenly she does it with such force, and I shit you not, with her strength check, I rolled a natural 20.
No!
Didn't kill
She
her, so-
presses herself against the blade and slices into her back, and begins to go limp against the chains.
This is bad.
Question: is she at 0 hit points?
Of course not.
She is bleeding profusely.
Oh.
Okay, I cast.
You are. Hang on. I'm just going to handle this right now. You are a character in a world. Hit points do not exist.
I just meant like she didn't drop dead.
No.
But she's
Okay.
hurt.
Help her.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I don't-
cast
I can't help at all.
Anybody
the
who-
blade, please. I can cure her wounds.
All right. So first, I need to take my sword out.
Hmm.
Alright.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Me?
No, sigh.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw. Hang on.
Pulling the sword
I
out.
don't think I've had to do this before.
Wait,
Shouldn't have pulled the sword out.
I mean, if I didn't, the sword would kill her.
well, no, but the sword is keeping the wound closed.
But she needs to. She's right there to heal
Like,
it.
pierce through? Like, what?
What'd you get on your wisdom saving throw?
I haven't rolled it yet.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
Roll it. He's made a decision.
He's already done it. He's already done it.
13. I'm getting a lot.
You get the familiar itch in the back of your head.
No.
And it drives your hand to drive that blade all the way through.
No.
One of us is pretty good at resisting murderous urges.
You essentially slice this dragonborn in half.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Well, no way easy to get back now.
I didn't
Nick
mean
is
to.
very upset by this.
Yeah, I think even at this site, I mean, Marleman's seen a lot of shit, but I think he's kind of just jaw dropped, trying not to vomit.
Yeah.
And the dragonborn is not quite dead yet.
Can I cast?
That's it. You can certainly try.
You have something that can save her at this point. If not,
Yes, I can try and cast Cure Wounds. I just want you to stop slicing the prisoner.
I don't know if that's considered a wound.
It's a grave wound.
Cure perforations.
It's not really a wound.
It's hold on. It's
That's some Darth Maul shit going on.
yeah, right.
Yeah, are you talking in half in one direction or what direction?
As in, like, Darth Maul-esque, like, almost her waist.
Okay, so this is a little. You can come back from that. You couldn't come back from vertical, which is what was in my head.
Princess file.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Right? Like, come on.
So, sidebar, I'm so happy you're eating a strawberry during this part. It's like the bloodiest of all fruits.
all right.
It's a really
Even
Okay.
the blood orange. Jeez.
All right, so I'm casting Cure Wounds at. Let's see what level is this shit. This is level 1, so level 2 Cure Wounds on her.
All right, you staunch the bleeding, but it does not repair her in half.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm aware.
God.
A level 2
Ruined.
spell
What
cannot do
sword
that.
does he have that did that?
She started it.
A really mean one.
In all honesty, though, she started it, right? Like, that was the thing that.
Yeah. So essentially, the force she used embedded the sword at least an inch and a half into her back through the scales.
Yeah.
Sai just had to push at that point.
Yeah,
But
but,
that's
like,
cool.
She gains-
nothing, no amount of pushing would, like, unless the sword is
Like,
fucking
it's like
really
getting a
thick,
spine without any momentum.
it's not gonna get wider.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
my sword, I get it.
No. The wound itself does not get wider. You're right.
But, like,
It just
you don't bisect somebody with a sword through their middle unless they're really narrow or you go sideways.
Yeah.
It's horizontal.
Even so, like, that's a hell of a. That's one of the things to cut through.
Well, I was assuming he had the point to her.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, then that's even easier than you just fucking stabbed straight through this woman.
That's fine.
That's a curable wound.
Yeah.
I assume that's why Heather was saying it, because she assumed that she just
Yeah.
was stabbed through.
I'm sorry, I thought me saying almost in half did the job there.
No.
That explains why everybody was, or a lot of people who were thinking about it were so incredulous when you said that.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
did
enough.
say Marleman was throwing up.
Yeah.
You made my boy sick.
And I will say, it's still a large hole because you were not, like, straight behind
Yeah.
her. There was a bit of an angle to it.
He meant it. I just mean it's not, like, physically possible for him to cut her in half by stabbing her.
Yeah.
I believe it did some damage, yeah.
He was trying.
Some heavy damage.
I was gonna say, whatever force inside his head was really shooting the kill here.
Yes.
I-
So that's the other thing, is that you, upon finishing this, pushing it through, you are aiming to end this thing's life.
Can I take another wisdom saving roll?
Sure.
Question.
Yes, Heather.
I have a feature for my battle medic that I've never used before.
Already used it today.
It's not that one.
Which one is it?
It's called Mending Sinews.
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 Sinews. As an action, you channel your arcane energy from your body. Faint prismatic ribbons emanate from you, mending the wounds of those you choose. You can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your battle medic level.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly do that.
So I can make sure that it's not just a little bit of hit points. It can be...
I am... we need to discuss that exact skill. We'll do this later.
Yeah, it's a second level, but I get a second epsilon at, let's see, a slep whatever fucking feature this is called.
Yeah.
At 8th level, so that's what I'm at.
No, not that part. The part that there's no back. You could just do this. We need to add a negative to this because this is too strong.
Right, like for me, like I have sorcery points. Like you don't really have much of a negative.
Yeah, you can just do this. It doesn't say like you can only do that once per day. Like it doesn't say anything like that. It just says you can do this.
I figured it's only once per day, but yeah.
Again, we will discuss later. But yeah, you can certainly do this.
Okay, because if she looks like really hurt, then I just want to do this so that way.
Yes, she is currently bleeding out. Let's say.
Then yes, it's a number of hit points equal to 5 times my battle medic level. So that would be
it's 10, so 50.
50 hit points.
All right, you putting all of them into her?
Is anyone else hurt?
Nope.
Not right now.
Then
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Then how bad?
25. Well, you don't. I can't say that.
I think because if I know I can divide them among people, I'm gonna like take a cursory glance at you to see if you're like about to keel over.
I am approximately a quarter of the way dead.
Then
I
I'll
don't know how that looks to you.
All right, I'll give you 10 hit points and give her the other 40.
Okay. So you lay your hands upon this Dragonborn, and I genuinely don't think you would do this. I'm sorry, but Dragonborns killed your family. They ravaged your village. Would you really do this?
Well, I'm not really happy, but we're supposed to deliver this stupid thing, and I don't want to fuck with the Sealy Court, so as much as I don't like her, I'm going to
I just want to make sure you're thinking about this from that level, not from
No, I am well aware.
Sai, what'd you get on your second wisdom saving throw?
16. So you also don't have to heal her all the way. You just have to
like enough so that way she's out of like the danger zone, you know?
Yeah, we can.
40 hit points is way more than out of it.
Well, I thought she was like super badly hurt.
She is.
So I want to make sure she can't like insta kill herself.
Yeah.
Okay. You bring her up to like a normal level, mend the hold a little bit. Sai, your second wisdom saving throw, you get your consciousness back. You still want to kill it?
That's fine.
You don't have to.
But I'm going to wipe off my blade and cheat it.
Okay. She's still lying on the ground, though. She still seems passed out at the very least.
That's all right.
She's knocked out?
She blacked out.
Oh, well,
good.
So Ryan had to go walk Pearl, but he said if she doesn't die and she comes back, he wants to just like turn into a bear or something and carry her at this point.
That's fine. Yeah, toss her up there.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys do so. She's still blacked out, not coming back around at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys bind her to Bear Aramil and begin to Baramil. And begin to bring her back towards Forza. Because she's no longer walking to slow you guys down, you guys are able to make it there in the time that the time you would expect, as opposed to way slower.
Mm-hmm.
He is again sitting under a tree. His eyes are not white. He is staring at all of you, and the bear you have now returned with, followed by staring at the black dragonborn that you have now arrived with as well.
Yay!
Forza, we need to go.
All right, Forza, let's get going.
Let's get out of here.
We've been through some shit. Go.
I won't ask. Let's go.
Thank you.
And begins to walk with speed through the forest.
The first time we've ever seen him be speedy.
Yeah. Away from the moons, back towards the shore.
Well, he wants to get the fuck out of here too, so.
It takes you guys about 5 hours to return to the shore.
Is she still out the whole time?
She's out the whole time.
Okay.
And once you guys come back through the looking glass, you do the flip and return to the Sealy side. The warmth overtakes you. The light pours down upon you. Even you, Trev, have never been so excited to stand in sunlight again.
Word.
And Forza kind of looks over at all of you and simply says, I will return to my domain.
Where can we find you? And then we can talk to you later.
Speak to the trees.
Okay.
I shall come.
Yes.
Wait, so we know our way back to the court from here then, I guess?
Been there
Yes.
a couple times.
Okay. Okay, I couldn't. I honestly this was just a that was me asking in general because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I like to think of
Also
that
science.
as I like to think of that as like we will now just walk to a tree and just like pull a oh god, what's that movie with Marky Mark? The Happening, and just look at the tree and just say, "Hey tree, how's it going?"
What? No.
Not trying to be setting off good vibes here, tree.
All right, let's start heading back.
Yeah, you guys beat feet
I'd rather not.
towards the court.
Yeah.
And as you guys make your way through, you see members of the Tentars begin to join up around you. None of them stop you. All of them look very concerned. And after about an hour of walking towards the court, Armill's bear form pops away.
Whoops.
Hey, buddy.
And he hits the ground covered in black dragonborn with chains.
How long has it been?
6 hours.
It can be a bear for 10.
Oh, I thought bear was... Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay,
what?
no.
Also,
Sorry.
10 divided by nothing is 6.
That's a good point. That's a fair point. So, no, you guys do make it all the way to the court. You're kind of leaving a bit of a hole as you go, Armil, but you do make it there with the Dragonborn attached to your back. Once you arrive,
She's
you
alive.
guys are top. She is alive.
I managed to stabilize her.
It wasn't as bad as it first sounded.
You turned into a CR 1.67 bear, and then a CR 1 bear, and then we're fine.
And so you guys make your way to the court. You guys are tired. You're wet. You're exhausted.
I agree with all of these things.
You're still, like, even though the warmth has started to come back into your bones, you're still very cold at your core. The cold of this unseelie can't seem to be something that's shaken. And as you arrive in the court, all of the members of the court are there. Av, the Korok, is sitting on the ground, staring at all of you. Titania is on her rock. Oberon is at her right. The Treant is even alive, or awake, peering interestingly at you all. The only person who doesn't seem to be there is Neve, the black-haired woman with the bright blue eyes. She's nowhere to be seen at the moment. None of them say a word as you enter.
Sai, you want to present your
Well, sure.
package thing?
Well, I mean, the first order of business will be the mission that Titania sends us on. So, Lady Titania, Lord Oberon, we've returned, having talked to the wares.
And how did your conversations with the Lycans go?
They were unfamiliar with the... I'm forgetting his name, I'm sorry. Court. And based on our description of him, it would appear that he is not a true Lycan.
He's not one of them.
He's not one of them. He's most likely achieved his Lycan form in some other means, not originally a Lycan.
Wonderful. Just what we need. Even more confusion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys were able to get some level of information from the Lycans. They're an interesting bunch, aren't they?
Yeah, old lady was nice.
The
Yeah.
that one was cool.
Ah, yes, Madam Claire. Is she still in charge over there?
Yes.
Based on what we saw, yes.
Good, good. I should invite more tea. Now, Oberon told me about this other errand you were meant to run for us. How did that go?
You met with the Tabaxi.
Hmm.
They send a message and a gift.
I can see that.
The message being that they would like you to reconsider their seating in the Sealy.
Yes, we will consider it. And as for her, and Titania sort of flutters up and kind of drifts over to you guys on her wings, looks over at the Dragonborn. What happened to her?
She tried to kill herself.
Wonderful.
Big breakfast.
The hashtag big breakfast. Hashtag big man on campus.
Hashtag big man on the rim.
She sort of looks over at all of you. I'm sure there's a story associated with that later, but for now, let's get her into custody, I suppose.
That would be nice, yes.
She signals, and a few of the Tentars break away from their circles at the sides. Come lift the Dragonborn off the bare back of Aramil. Chains still around her. She is still not woken up.
Touch it last, out of our hands.
And they take her away in some capacity.
Oh boy.
We're talking. She's dangerous.
I wouldn't like to be her.
Yes, we can only imagine. Well, you all seem to have passed the test I chose of you and didn't die. That is something to be considered in there.
Morgan.
I'm impressed.
We were attacked.
You were attacked. Well, that's not uncommon. By what?
Spriggans.
Nasty little devils, aren't they?
Mm.
Well, they were.
So the wares might not have quite the control of the Unseelie that you thought they did.
No, that sounds like they have exactly the amount of control over the Unseelie that we expected them to. Very well.
Okay.
When you have low expectations, you can't be disappointed.
Challenge accepted.
Well, we will speak more in the morning. You have all done your jobs well. It is quite late by your realm standards, I would say. We will speak more later. I have one question for you all.
Sure.
Can you dig it? Sucker! No.
Okay, for M.
You just want to throw out this cookie?
And with that, I will see you all in the morning. And she sort of floats away.
Oh,
We didn't hear you.
that was not even Marleman in character.
None of us.
We're coming for you.
All right.
Uh,
So
she-
what'd she actually say?
She looks over at all of you and just goes, "So what's it like over there? I've never actually been over there. Is it like here? Is it bright? Is it cold? Is it live, dead? What's it like?"
Cold
Those
as fuck.
adjectives are all pretty good.
Say again.
You pretty much nailed it.
I said those adjectives are all pretty good.
So it's both bright, alive, and dead, and dark.
Yeah, pretty
I
kinda.
just heard dark, cold, and dead.
It's very blue for a short amount of time.
I mean, the majority of it seemed pretty dead, but the Twilight area Grove? Was that where we were?
Yes.
Yeah,
Twilight's
that
up in
part that seemed slightly more alive, but dark.
Cold.
Interesting. Well, it's good to know. As someone who will
Very
be making the
cool.
right way over there, it's good to know what it's like over there. Very well. I don't know. Guys, anything else for me? Speaking in the morning, debrief, interrogate the prisoner.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
Cool. And we will prep up for you guys to return back to your own realm and get you guys going on them savory people.
Yeah.
Prophecy stuff.
All right.
Important.
Right. Sorry, I forgot you guys are staying here. All right. And she turns to the rest of the court. Court dismissed. Go about your business. Let these poor folks sleep.
Okay.
And Dab sort of grumbles a bit, and you can hear under his breath him say, "Got me in a fucking bed for this bullshit. I can't fucking believe it." Damn it. And he kind of
Oh no.
crumbles off through a bush. Oberon sort of nods gravely and fades behind one of the trees. The small dragon, who is curled up on a rock staring at all of you, vanishes up into the branches of the mahogany.
Okay.
I'm sorry. For a moment there, I thought you said that he dabbed gravely, and I didn't quite know how to do that, which would just be just like a real stern, just
Jump scare.
Just with the eyes over the top, just piercing.
Jump scare.
Anyway, so Titania opens up the underground apartments for you guys. You all kind of trundle your way in and make your way to bed. Is there anything anybody would like to do this evening? By your body's standards, it's about 2 a.m., so you're very tired, but...
Nope.
Sleep, mostly.
Sleep. Nix, Arma?
sleep.
Sleep sounds good.
Okay. You all rest, get the chill out of your bones, sleep a full night's rest, wake up refreshed the next morning.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Could I do a lock on my box?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You could definitely try. So you unlock the easy one, right?
Yeah, I did the first one.
Okay. Next up is the next one, which I have written down somewhere. What's your lockpick?
What's my lockpick?
Well, roll your lockpick check.
I know, I'm trying to remember what I did. Where does it say my lockpick stuff?
So it's sleight of hand, proficiency, and dexterity.
Okay. Oh, that was not great sleight of hand. Okay, so my sleight of hand was 10. What was the next thing?
So it's 10 plus your proficiency bonus, which is 4.
The 14. And then plus...
plus your raw dex modifier, which is also 4. So 18 total. The iron lock, which is the second one, does not spring open.
Boo.
I'm really mad about this. Sorry.
All right. So, would you guys want to go to the next morning, or do you want to call it there?
I'm exhausted,
Call
so
it.
yeah.
Cool. So we will be back not next week, but the week after, because there's both Kineticon and Heather's going to Britain.
Nice.
Yay.
I did have one question. Did we ever figure out that experience from the fight with the Spriggans?
Say again? Oh,
Experience.
Spriggan experience. Yeah, I gotta send you guys that. I'll add that onto the experience from tonight as well, and send you guys the totals.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. With that, we'll see you next time. Well done, Nix, being the one voice of reason for not abusing the prisoner for a bit there.
God, guys.
I don't think knocking out the person with the evil lady mark is that bad of an option, all things considered.
I shut my mouth. I didn't say a thing. I'm like, as a person who is like definitely good-natured, I would say lawful at some point, but
Also, I resent that. All things considered, I was extremely restrained.
yeah, I think you were too.
The layers of bullshit that would have normally led to me killing her.
Yeah, I didn't want to outright kill her. I just wanted to make it so it would be easier to take her with us.
Literally, like killing. It was just that, like,
Being a complete prick to somebody you have full power over.
you were like, I can do whatever the fuck I want to her.
But Your
Like,
Honor, but Your
That was-
Honor, I only. Your
That
Honor,
was my if she escaped, I would have cast suggestion
Right.
on her.
But
Like it wasn't like a do it right now thing. It was a if the worst thing.
It just sounded like every person in the group, like, how could I do whatever the fuck I wanted to her?
To be fair, I knew she was going to be dangerous. I knew she was going to flip out when she heard where we were going. So I wanted to head that off it before it happened.
Yeah.
And she tried to stab people, so I feel kind of justified.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to be fucking complicated. I just don't have any means of subduing somebody that isn't killing them, so I didn't
Did
bother.
not attempt to stab anybody.
The only way I subscribe to the Mordekaiser, if they're dead, they're crowd controlled philosophy, and I can't really do that.
Yeah, no, she was scrambling at knives not to sink them in one of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, really wanted to not go to the.
They're gonna.
Nope. You guys successfully figured out my suicide puzzle. Congratulations.
Yay!
Is that MCR's comeback album?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's harsh.
Not really. Like, that's not unlike the sound of something they would make. That's not a value judgment or a quality judgment on that band at all.
Legit, and I say this as a huge MCR fan. They had a song called "Drowning Lessons."
Yeah.
Like, my favorite song is just called "Dead" with an exclamation point. Like, I don't know what you want.
Fair. All right, I gotta go to Brighton. So
Fair
I'll
enough.
Have fun.
see. Gotta go play with the
Right
cat.
to your day.
Enjoy.
That sounds
Peace.
fun. Bye.